Hi guys, I am back. I'm back. I did get cut off from my last video about vinyl records, but basically I finished what I was trying to tell you guys. So it was short and simple. Got cut off, but so I decided to do a second video about how to what things you can use to raise your frequency. Vinyl record is one of them. Okay, so we got that one out of the way first in a whole video. Of course, crystals, anything crystal, gemstones, diamonds. Did you guys know that diamonds communicate between each other? So if you have a pair of diamond earrings on, they're actually talking to each other through frequencies. So gemstones, mm, any type of crystal stone or natural stone will raise your frequency. Oh, found something. Anything that is an herb, like oil, essential oils, definitely. Essential oils definitely raise your frequency. I know that the highest vibrating essential oil is rose, and the highest vibrating type of or herb or leaf or plant is actually rose. So roses, so if you got some roses for Valentine's Day, make you some rose water, make you some rose oil, use the rose petals in your bathtub or whatever. Those help you vibrate on a higher frequency as well, and as well as essential oil. So instead of always getting air freshener or burning scented candles, you can do the essential oil diffuser, which will also raise your vibration because of the essential oils in it. And if you want to really raise it, put some rose oil in it. Okay. A lot of people were asking me to do a video on how to raise your frequency. These are physical ways. Okay. There's spiritual ways as well, but you can combine physical as well as spiritual and get the max. So, fire, which is, um, from a candle, that can also raise your frequency because the energy that it's producing is also very high, higher than a light bulb, and it's natural. You know what I'm saying? Reading things that resonate with you. This is a spiritual slash physical. Reading things that give you knowledge of self also raise your frequency. So instead of reading, romantic novels or fiction, read something that gives you knowledge of spiritual things, knowledge of self, knowledge of something that you know thank you, neon eyes. It rains diamonds on some planets. Wow, that's a nice planet. Yeah, so learning raises your vibration. uh Getting enough sleep, that's one thing. You're not going to vibrate at your highest if you tired, because all that energy is going to be used trying to keep yourself awake. So get a lot of sleep. Use the weekends to sleep in if you have to, you know. But being well rested also is a good thing. Um, you all have those like salt crystal lamps or salt crystal candle burners or whatever, that purifies the air. And when the air is clean, the frequencies are higher because air is a medium in which vibrations flow through. So if you got polluted air or, messed up air, the frequencies aren't going to be able to flow as well. So having purified air through one of those Himalayan salt crystals is pretty good, or you can get an air purifier, whatever. However you want to do it. Okay. Yeah, of course, exercise raises your vibration. That's another physical thing. Thank you, Ebony X. Um, A lot of things raise your vibration, but I just want to give you the things that most people don't really know. Thank you, Ruby D. I started reading The Secret for the first time last night. Been reading it this morning and almost done reading it. Take a break and come across this video. The universe works in amazing ways. Thank you, Ruby D. That's right. Um, that also raises your frequency. Synchronicities. It allows you to see that you're on the right path and that you know there's no such thing as coincidence, and that, like, when you take one step, the universe takes two steps. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be led to higher vibrational things, which then will raise your vibration even higher. So allow that to happen, um, and accept it. hmm Another thing is people. Being around certain people will lower your vibration, and you already know that. I know y'all know that. So try not to hang around people that bring it down. Try to hang around people that bring it up. hmm Or make you laugh. Comedy. That's another thing. Laughing raises your vibration. Anything funny. That's why I always try to mix comedy in a little bit, or say some silly things when I do my videos, because it's gonna raise your frequency still. So have a sense of humor. Don't always be so serious all the time. It's not that serious. It ain't that serious. What good is life, and what good is, spirituality, if you can't have fun and laugh? Breathing techniques. That's another good one. Thank you, Tanya T. Of course. How could I forget that? Hold. Yeah. Ooh, my phone. So yeah, breathing techniques, definitely. There's so many things. There's countless things to raise your frequency. No one should have low frequency. um, feeling, feeling deserving, feeling deserving of things that you want and already have. That also raises your frequency. And understanding and gratitude also raises your frequency. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for teaching the people. Oh, thank you for donating. Appreciate that. So yeah, making someone happy also, doing things for other people also help you vibrate higher. You also learn when you help other people. You also learn. Thank you, Mutable Virgo, for the donation. I appreciate that. So raising your frequency, you don't have to work on this. It should just be a daily thing that happens because you have the knowledge, you have all the supplies in place, you understand this, and most of the things that you do and that you surround yourself with should raise your frequency automatically. When someone walks into your house, they should feel different than when they leave. If you have a house or apartment, and you have your crystals, you have your essential oils, you have your choice of music, you have your plants, you got your, did I already say crystals? You got your candles burning, you got all that kind of stuff. People should feel a different frequency when they enter into your house. You got the windows open, yeah. So all of that good stuff. So they should feel like they have entered into a different space when they enter your house from the outside world. If they don't feel like that when they enter your house, it should be like a sense of peace and bliss, and then work on that. You should feel that too when you return home. It should feel like higher vibration. Someone's saying sage. Of course, sage. Everybody knows that. Sage. A good place to order crystals from. My store, Dark Realm Online Occult Shop. .com. They sell loose stones, pointed stones, like stuff like this. Then they sell rough stones, so all different types. They sell pyramid crystals and all that kind of good stuff. So check out my store, Dark Realm Online Occult Shop. It's in the description box because I think I put it in there. Um, and another alternative, okay, do I sage my home? Sometimes I do, but I use essential oils because those vibrate really high. I do use oil diffusers. Um, if you can't use a lot of smoke, you can use a sage spray. You can make a spray with sage essential oil. So either way, even okay. Um, Thank you. Best oil to use, the highest vibrating oil is rose. Believe it or not, the highest vibrating flower is a rose. The highest vibrating oil, essential oil, is rose. So rose is going to be the highest vibrational frequency, whether it's oil or the petal or the flower itself. hmm So yeah, and it smells good. If you don't like the smell of rose, you know, use something else. Most flowers are highly vibrational. hmm And you know, when you keep your home, um, I think clean. When your home is clean, that's also a highly vibrational atmosphere because there's not a lot of chaos and clutter. You know what I'm saying? Because when you walk into a dirty house, no matter how much candles and um, essential oil diffusers you have and crystals, if it's dirty, it's going to bring it straight on down. Because when you see that, it just messes with your mind. It's like, ooh, So make sure you keep your house clean because then it doesn't bring your vibration down when you see it. And when I say clean, I don't mean like super clean. I mean clean in the aspect of where it's not, you know, unsanitary. Because everybody has kids. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people have kids and they can't keep their house 100% clean all the time. I'm talking about sanitary clean, you know, stuff that can't wait. Right. And also having stuff in order also helps you. Okay. Um, so anything you can do to make your house vibrate on a higher frequency is a good thing because that's your environment. That's where you're going to be most of your time. If you have a desk at work, keep some items on your desk that also keep your frequency high, like crystals, um, maybe a mini air diffuser if they allow, or one of those salt lamps or whatever. But put that in your office just to keep your vibration high even at work. Mhm. Mhm. Is it bad spiritually if you never get kids throughout your whole life? I can't answer that question. I really can't. And I don't judge people for having kids or not having kids. But I'll tell you my experience. When I had my kids, it really opened my eyes spiritually. It was like a whole different way of thinking, a whole different way of feeling and being. You understand so much more. And I feel like as a woman, that is something very empowering, also humbling. It's just something that allows you to feel something that you will never feel any other way. So I can't say yes or no, but I know it is a life changing spiritual experience. You know what I'm saying? So the closest that I've ever felt to that prior to children, um, was music. Really tapping into music and getting the meaning and symbolism and just really understanding life at its most meaningful aspect, finding deeper meaning in everything. So If you don't have kids, I suggest looking for the deeper meaning of things, and that's also good. But there's nothing I can compare to having children. Your kids are your soulmates, and they have helped you break karmic cycles. They are old souls. Kristen, yeah, I feel like that too. Like, I feel like my kids are. I've known them before. I definitely feel that too. Hmm. You saw light beams yesterday. Wow, Maya. Your parents are your soulmates. That's so sweet. So when I talk about how to raise your frequency, it's to benefit you, and it's also to help you see things clearly, and also to help you evolve. So here's my thing. Now you have all this information, you use all these techniques, but you can raise your frequency all you like. But if you're continuously lowering your frequency as well, then you're not really building, you're not really evolving. You know what I mean? So you need to keep it high. You need to keep people in your life that keep your frequency high. You need to keep doing things that keep your frequency high. You need to make decisions that will keep your frequencies high with the results. You need to be moving in an upward, evolving direction. Otherwise, you're not doing anything but just having a bunch of junk around your house and doing a bunch of useless things that keep you right where you are. Um, so I feel like to do that and then to do other stupid things afterwards that lower your frequency is basically not, it's like doing nothing at all. So keep that in your mind too, because it's also discipline and becoming the best version or a better version of yourself day by day is also raising your frequency, because you can do all this stuff and not do anything, that's beneficial for yourself on a day-to-day basis, and your frequency is not going to really go anywhere. um so right, doing that is going to help you. I also say, like, if you're a naturally tired person or you don't get enough sleep because of work or something, take vitamins, supplements, elixirs. I sell my stuff. Things like that to keep your body going. Eat foods that energize you and give you energy so that you don't feel tired and lagging. That also going to help your frequency. Um, the sex lower your frequency. Depends on who you're doing it with, okay, and how you feel about that person. That's another thing. When you sleep with someone, how you feel about that person determines if that's lower or higher vibrations. Okay. So you have a lot of people that just sleep with people to sleep with people that don't do anything. That basically lowers your vibration. But if you feel a certain way about that person and they feel a certain way about you, and y'all are both vibrating on a higher frequency, which is love, which is the highest frequency, then that intercourse is going to be the highest frequency that you can get. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's why if you sleep with people you don't love, there's nothing really there but instant gratification. So you can't um, really get the highest energy from that unless you and the other person love each other. Okay. Um, and I'll tell you, like, you know, there's a lot of people that do tantra with their partners who they do love, and they've reached epic uh, destinations um, in the universe. I feel like that in and of itself will give you, it will take you to the highest elevation that you've been frequency wise, and you'll understand why the universe exists. I'll just say that. It's almost like you understand why everything is how it is. It's crazy. Um, mhm. You understand why everything has to be this way. You already understand. Everything makes sense. Even the things that you think are bad or terrible all make sense. And then I'll also say, okay, of course, meditation, but some people don't need to meditate because they're in a constant state of, you know, thought and open to the universe and to receive and all that kind of stuff because they don't really have certain responsibilities or they don't have to go to work or they don't have to do this or that. So they're in a constant state of, you know, open openness. Okay. Um, that's why when you see like all these yogis and, spiritual people, they don't really go to some 9 to 5. They sit in their house and play mantras and light candles and, burn incense and meditate and read and do philosophy and study alchemy and all this kind. That's what they're doing because they're in a constant, their life is a meditation. Their entire life is a meditation. Okay. And besides being a mother and a wife, everything else after that is a meditation for me, you know. Um, so I don't really have to make time to meditate. After I drop my kids off, get something to eat, answer my emails, and do my little videos, everything else is meditation time, study time, vibration time, getting rest and understanding and contemplating things. So if you can have that freedom, that also raises your vibration, because when you're in the real world and you're bombarded with a lot of issues, problems, other people's problems, work, traffic, you have to get into a space where you can receive information and raise your vibration. So that's why a lot of people have to meditate. You know what I'm saying? So if you live a hectic lifestyle or just the average lifestyle of, work, kids, traffic, do take time to meditate because that's what you probably have to do to get out of the lower vibrations and back into the higher vibrations. hmm Um, Ancient Egyptians call it dwelling in the divine. Wow, I didn't know that. Thank you. So and that's another thing. Being able to learn and receive from other people raise your vibration. I don't like to I wouldn't like, I'll say that I wouldn't like to be a know-it-all because that means I can't grow anymore. And when you can't grow anymore, then your vibration can't get any higher. You know what I'm saying? So I like when y'all teach me stuff or tell me stuff I haven't learned yet, or things like that. So helping other people realize things also is a good thing. Um, hey, so I think being open or an empty cup allows you to also vibrate higher because you can receive information from people that you may have never found on your own. You know, the universe sometimes has a way of sending you information without you having to study or read it by sending it through other people. Hmm. You're constantly learning from the comments, Cindy. Yeah, me too. Seriously. When y'all send me those videos and say, "Oh, you need to check this video out." I see stuff. I'm like, "Wow, thank you." Sometimes I don't thank the people enough for sending me the stuff like videos and websites and stuff. So I just thank y'all. Um, just got your book, Complete Idiot's Guide to Alchemy. Good. Mm, you're a master student. Yep. I try to be like, you can't learn everything. The universe is infinite. So there's no way anybody's a know it all because that means they're limited. If you already know everything, what if something new appears? Or what if something profound, you know, is right in front of your face? And since you already know everything, you can't explore it, or else it would, um, jeopardize your entire, work or research or existence. That's how scientists used to be. That's why we're behind, scientifically and, spiritually, because a lot of scientists were arrogant in their know-it-all ways and they didn't want to be open to new ideas. You know. So make sure you're always open, even if you don't accept 100%, at least you have it to refer to. Maybe at a later time it'll make sense because there are certain things that people have told me that I automatically rejected, but I still listened, that now I accept because I came to the realization after the fact. Because if you automatically reject something and don't learn it, then you can't grow. And it's not in the back of your mind and it won't pop up when something, you know, it presents itself. It won't pop up as an answer because you've totally rejected it. But if you keep an open mind and you see something that relates and you learned something so long ago that you weren't really 100% on, now it all perfectly makes sense. Everything is like a puzzle. So keep an open mind. hmm That's one thing. You had multiple revelations after watching Siempre Bruja. Oh, that Netflix show. I tried, you know what? I'm not going to put that show down. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things in that show, but I can't really get into it. I guess I'm too far on a more scientific level and a more historical frequency now that I must learn the techniques and the information or spiritual technology, I'll say, at this time, because that's what is really resonating with me right now. So those type of shows I'm not really into. I probably would have been like 2 years ago, but right now I'm more into like the pyramid codes and anything with cosmic information, quantum physics, and stuff like that, because that's the frequency I'm on right now. So like my soul, my spirit will not let me watch that because there's so much more to learn. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I may enjoy it later. Because there have been TV shows where I just totally rejected in the beginning. Then a couple of months later, I'll go back and watch it. So right now, I can't watch that right now because there's something else I'm supposed to be doing. Uh-huh. Um, Thank you, Tasha. Thank you so much for what you do, Ashira. You are truly gifted, and I have learned so much since I've started watching this channel. I now walk in confidence and refer your channel. Oh, thank you, Tasha, for the donation as well. I appreciate that. Also, how you look. Let's talk about how you look. That also raises your vibration. Look good, feel good. You know, um, look good, feel good. That's it. I teach that on my other channel. Confidence, looking good, feeling good raises your vibration. Caring about yourself raises your vibration. Okay. You can be the most spiritual person in the world, but if you don't love yourself and care about yourself and make yourself, you know, presentable and you feel good about the way you look, you're not vibrating at the highest that you could be. So keep yourself looking good, feeling good, smelling good, and vibrate higher. Okay. I got your whole life together. You watch my other channel for a change. Oh, wow. Well, that's another thing. How you allow people to treat you also affects your vibration, you know. If you allow certain people to treat you less than you deserve to be treated, when that person walks into your room or your life, your vibration goes down. If that person treats you well, like you deserve to be treated, or even better, your vibration goes up. So if you're in a toxic relationship and at the time that you're not feeling your highest and you're around that person, then you don't need to be around them until you can figure stuff out. But or come to some type of agreement. But you shouldn't be around people that lower your vibration, because what happens when your vibration gets lowered? You could become sick, you become depressed, you start um, self destructing, and that's no good. So, you got to get away. Me, I'm lucky. I just go in my office, go in my room, go for a drive. People, you don't sit there and argue with people, you get away. Some people like to argue because they feel like if they win the argument, their vibration will feel higher, but that's a false temporary sense of higher vibration, because it doesn't bring anything higher after the fact. So if you get away from the situation and come to your senses, both of y'all, and then come back together after you have calmed down and controlled your emotions without being around the other person, then you can start to have that logical conversation and figure out the next step. Thank you. Um, exactly. So make sure, yeah, that's pride. That is pride. Because y'all already know by the way that I control that I can win most arguments, right? I could be like an attorney and win every case. But that's not the point. Not when you're arguing with somebody you're supposed to be in a relationship with. You're supposed to both be happy at the end of the day, right? So I can't use my talents at home, not sadly, but because I know the difference. Because I need my home to stay on a certain frequency. On here, I can click off and come back at any time, and it's a whole new set of people, or the troll is gone, or upset and won't come back. So it doesn't matter, like, on something like this, but in your real life, you can't be doing that. And I know a lot of people, especially women, have issues with holding their tongue when they want to say something to their partner. And it's hard not to say something. It is. It's hard to stay in your higher frequency. It is. Because you want that person to understand how you feel because you're upset. The best thing to do in that situation is to leave them alone for a while so they can sit and think about what they've done. Because if you argue and scream at that person, whatever they did to you, they're going to feel as if you deserve it now, because now you're upsetting them. And now they don't care anymore. They're like, I'm glad I did it because you're, blah, 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 blah. And you're getting on my nerves. So whatever, it becomes more of a defense than communication or understanding. So when you argue, you're not doing anything but making that other person glad they did what they did.